Okay. I'll start with why don't you tell me your name and who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, my name's Jeffro Uitto, and I'm from Tokeland, Washington. Grown up there since I was maybe 5 years old, and just being surrounded by nature and the beach and the woods, and always out kind of tinkering around, and so it's pretty inspiring place to be.
I would imagine, definitely, definitely. And did you know from an early age that you were going to be an artist in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's a artist is a funny title, anyways. It's just kind of doing things that feel natural to you, and you know, just a journey you're on, and so I mean, you call it what you want. I'd be doing it, sure.
Gotcha, gotcha. And when was this medium that obviously you're using pieces of driftwood? Are there a lot of artists like you, or do you feel like you're kind of charting your own course with what you're doing?
There's a few people, and I'm sure there's several that nobody knows about yet, and it's interesting because you can really go off on such a path that seems really unique, with this material. And I mean, because this same material's been around, geez, forever, but it's kind of neat to just look at it a little differently.
Definitely. Now, Rhino behind us. When did this start, and what was your concept going in?
Oh man, probably at least 8 years ago or more, I kept finding these pieces that the texture was just amazing. It really grabbed me, so I kept thinking, I'm gonna do this piece someday, and I wanna really collect enough material to make it a grand piece. And so, every now and again I'd find another piece and it'd reintroduce the idea again, and then I got an opportunity to do a show in Taiwan at this museum, and so I did a full-size rhino, and it was pretty consuming. I was so excited to finally get into the project, and get to pull out all this material I've been saving and then see which ones are going to be placed where, and I was on such a high from that project that I was like just into this rhino zone, the energy of it. And so this piece I got to do for kind of for fun. I really wanted to do it, and I still had everything kind of laid out. My shop was a huge mess still from the residuals, but so this piece really came together really well. It was I don't know, I was almost in a time warp, just kind of locked in the shop there for several weeks, and it's a fun piece.
What other things have you made out of driftwood? What other shapes and objects are possible with what kind of art you do?
Anything's really possible. Like I probably began the kind of the journey of functional, things like things you might need, or use, and so I started really younger, doing furniture and stuff like that, and that kind of grew off into sculpture, and then mixing the two, like little function and everything. So.
What kinds of things? I'm imagining. I think on your website you talk about a bar top, something with some shape to it, but also that has functionality.
Yeah, sure. And it's the material itself is amazing, and it's a whole journey in itself to collect it and get it, and kind of just see where it's gonna go in placement, and so it's kind of fun. And then when you're dissecting things, it's almost like a big Christmas, It's like you get to see this beautiful grain in the woods, and it's pretty exciting.
Definitely. And what's the most exciting part of the process for you as an artist? When is that point where you say, "Wow, this is like I could make it this"? Or do you know going in when you're putting pieces together, or do you allow pieces to kind of work in their own flow, and maybe you discover something along the way?
Yeah, definitely. It's the more that I learn actually is the more that I just kind of have to stay out of the way, and it's often it doesn't even seem like I had a part in creating this. It's just like I was almost the body there doing it physically, and it's I don't know. There's little pieces throughout that are very exciting, and with creating, it's also like it's everything. It's like you're disappointed, you're excited, all the emotions through a project. It's like this. It's a big journey through a project, and it's I don't know. It's the hardest part's really the first piece and the last piece, and just kind of. And often I'm always off onto the next ideas as something's getting wrapped up.
And what about Rhino? When it's here at Collective Visions, but and it's on sale, I see. But do you have other plans for it, or other galleries that it might go to in the future?
I'm just kind of open right now. It's exciting. Alan, we got in touch here, and I wanted to show the piece, and I just thought it'd be a nice piece for people to enjoy.
Is this the first time you've shown at Collective Visions?
No, I think a few years ago we did a piece here too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So.
Okay, cool. How old are you, by the way?
34, 35. I'm losing a year here. I'm not sure.
But you're doing amazing things at 34. Wow, this is really stunning. And what was it like when you heard that this won, the Mayor's Award? What did you when you heard that? I was just curious how you felt about being honored in that way.
Oh man, I was pumped, man. Yeah, it was so exciting, and get to go on stage with everybody, and yeah, it was exciting. Yeah, I was totally jacked up, man, the whole night. It was just right on. It was fun.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Other things about your process. About if you want to share anything else with our viewers about where they can find more of your art or anything else.
Yeah, it's that's kind of exciting. Is the whole process and journey is you never know where you're going to be. You never know what's going on. I mean. And, I don't even know where this whole creative process is going to go and which direction and that's kind of exciting. So you could definitely keep an eye on my work on the website or Facebook or, stuff like that, media. But, yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't even really know what the next projects are. I got several in mind, so we'll see which one kind of grabs me, and yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Jeffro.
Yeah,
Really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay.